So, like 5 minutes ago, I burped in Trudy's mouth.
Why? That's awful.
It's awful, and she really thought I did it on purpose, and I didn't do it on purpose. It is a very me thing, a gross me thing that would happen, but I didn't do it. I just leaned over to kiss her because I wanted to before we were starting the podcast, and it just the way that my abdomen like compressed the pizza that I had just consumed with the iced coffee on top of it. I said, "Bleh." And she just looked at me like enraged. She said my whole name.
Oh no!
And
Did she start with
Brian.
your first name?
Yeah, and after Austin, there was motherfucking. and then the last name, and I'm like, that's your last name too. So yeah, it was
a very confusing, intimate moment.
Yeah,
filled with rage.
Maybe we could end up liking it. Maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe it's the new kiss.
Yeah. Just gave her a little more protein.
Oh. Dang it. Hey everybody, I'm Dane Holland, the cosmic problem solver.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer, and I'm a dog you can break in half.
I'm Marcus, the one known as I'm Electric Man.
I'm Austin Tiny Zent. Yeah.
Yeah is right. Welcome to Nerd It Through the Grapevine. It's a podcast where four best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And I feel jacked in right now. I feel so jacked in. I feel like I've taken a really good pill, and I feel jacked in.
Were you able to predict my topic?
Yes.
Gosh, am I
From one text message.
I thought I was
that you
this
sent.
like mysterious
No,
person.
Not even a little bit.
No,
You're metal.
gosh.
You've got that going for you.
Yeah.
Like if there was a metal gummy bear, that would be Marcus.
Oh yeah.
Not the sugar-free ones.
No, of course
brown
not.
teeth.
Yes, you would. Yes. Marcus is
Come
so
on.
metal, he will make you mess your pants up.
And break your teeth.
And I'm not telling you in which direction either.
Oh,
One Direction.
No.
Anyway, let's misdirect this conversation back to The Matrix. Okay, so obviously the trailer just dropped, and the internet kind of blew up with it. I mean, I guess I knew it was The Matrix is big, you know? But I don't know. I was too young to, like, understand it. I mean, I knew that, you know, the computer, whatever. You're in the computer world, and we're trying to break out of it. I understood that. But I'm still trying to figure out what happened in the Matrix trilogy. But now there's another one.
Right. You didn't even get time to figure it out before they gave you
Right.
a fourth one.
So I don't know. As far as I've been able to tell, there was a really big fight scene,
Yes.
and then the sky turned rainbow. That's all I've been able to figure out about what happened.
Right.
Wait, are you talking about like you really don't know what happened in the
I
Matrix?
mean, it's been a
trilogy?
long time. It's been a long time also.
Hold on. As an adult, you never thought to yourself, like, this is supposed to be renowned for something. Should I maybe investigate again?
Okay, but listen, I get the ins and outs of it, but it's confusing. It's
Yeah.
very confusing.
Honestly, I thought the third one kind of like I don't know. It was like it scratched an itch, but it was like a little bit too deep in my butthole. Like it wasn't a pleasant experience for me. Like it didn't go the way I wanted it to. And I think a lot of people felt that same way, but not as gross of an analogy for it. You know,
Right. Well, why did you feel that way?
just because the last movie, like, it took everything that you wanted to be going on, and it kind of like brought it to a figurehead. Like the machines were actually fighting against the humans. The humans were, you know, they were getting decimated, and you knew this was all happening, and it's like playing out right before you. And then you've got, you know, of course, you got Neo, who's capable of actually being in touch with these machines and everything else like that, and he's jacked into the Matrix fighting an ever-ending virus, which is Mr. Smith. And it just, I don't know, it just seemed kind of like it ended in a finale. Like, no, well, I'm going to smack my mouth on that.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, Daddy.
It ended in a like a final fight that wasn't even like a final fight. It was a final surrender that there was like him sacrificing himself for the greater good of humanity.
Sure.
And that's
To
just
kind of reload the Matrix again?
and that's the
It
thing.
was-
It was left at this is always going to happen again.
Right, but it's almost like it's going to be a little bit better this time. They say they kind of let you lead. infer that from the ending,
Well,
I guess.
this time it deviated from other resets. Instead of like doing a normal shutdown, I'm going to use the analogy of a computer. Go in, click shut down, powers off, powers back on. This was like reaching over and pulling the plug out of the wall. So it was more of a
Hard
hard
shutdown.
reset. And he teamed up with the actual machines themselves to purge the program of Agent Smith, who was actually the one, and I stand by that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we have talked about the Matrix on the show.
Yeah,
before.
a little talked
bit, yeah.
about Agent Smith being the one instead of Neo.
Right.
Yeah.
And this trailer is a sequel to the trilogy.
Sure.
So this is after the reset. He's plugged back in,
That's what I don't get.
and
Didn't he die?
That's what I thought.
well,
But it's called Matrix
They never
Resurrections.
said that he died.
He went to
Right.
be with Trinity, right?
Yeah.
She died. She like mega died.
Here's another thing, though. Like, yeah, the last two movies weren't all that great. Some people say I enjoyed them. Obviously, I was a kid. I still enjoyed them when I was older. It's
I like
it's
them
probably
all.
the closest thing to anime that I actually like.
The twins still freak me out. I still don't like.
Oh, I
like,
love that. It's so
like,
cool.
The
God.
Ghost Twins.
The Ghost Twins, yeah. Like it could have. Now it's dated. Like at its time,
Yeah.
it was kind of like but now it's pretty dated. So it's not as like visually stunning, but it's still creepy.
But the point I was going to make is there's a lot of like kind of deep philosophical stuff going on in the Matrix too. That I've read into and listened to people talk about on YouTube and stuff. That's really, really cool. Like there's a lot of like cool ideas packed into that. So for some reason it kind of lingers in my imagination, but I don't know, the new trailer just
I
made
didn't
me
watch
it seems like a retread to me.
Well-
It seems like they're just trying to capture the nostalgia. It seems like a soft reboot from the trailer.
Well,
And I don't like that.
I kind of liked the idea because they show Neo as he is now. He's older and he's on some kind of medication, which is the blue pill. From the trailer, he doesn't exactly know why he's taking it, but he
Right.
takes it because it's making him feel normal. And then he meets this guy who is not Morpheus. This guy, he's
That's
a
another thing.
tryhard that's trying to be Morpheus.
And I haven't seen that Hugo Weaving's in the movie either. So that's
I'm
just
not-
automatically like,
I'm not sure who that is.
Agent Smith.
Oh, okay.
He was also Elrond
I didn't know his
in
real
Lord of the
name.
Rings.
Yes, he was. The creators of the Matrix actually, whenever the Matrix Online video game came out, the creators were like, "Yeah, do whatever you want. Just Morpheus has to die." So in the Matrix Online, like that's why we won't see Morpheus.
I know, I read that.
So
What
like
in the world?
creators had made sure that he died
Why?
in
Wachowski
something. Those ones, sure.
So that they could make 4?
I don't know.
I
I have
don't
no
either.
idea. This was a long time ago.
But
I mean,
like
the
that's
Matrix
canon?
Online-
Are they like actually making that MMO canon?
I
Because
think
I don't
so.
know.
I think so.
It's kind of weird.
Because I don't think Lawrence Fishburne is mentioned anywhere in any of the cast rolling. Which I mean,
Right.
it could be one of those big reveal
Right,
things.
but is he? I don't know. I mean, obviously, we don't know exactly what to expect.
Right.
I haven't read much about the movie. I didn't even know it was going to happen until I saw the internet blow up with the trailer.
Do you think it would happen if Keanu wasn't like super hot right now?
I mean, I think haven't they always had plans to kind of do some more?
I mean,
I don't know.
is it because of the beard? Do you think that's why he's super hot now?
Oh, very attractive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Oh, the
don't
beard
think
looks
it's
really
a
good on
bad
it.
time to do it. I mean, I think if
No.
you're going to do it, this
Now
is
is it.
right in the
Yeah.
height of his fame.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
all got beards.
We do, all 4 of us.
So I mean, that now is the perfect time to grow them. I mean,
Well,
it's
see-
a great fashion statement currently.
My main issue with this trailer is the knockoff Lawrence Fishburne. He did play the part of a prophet because, he was seeking the one. He knew the prophecies inside out. He would preach at Zion. So I could see trying to find someone to fulfill that role, but don't make a Dollar General version of him.
Could it
You
be
know?
his consciousness in that person?
Yeah, just like they uploaded the consciousness of Agent Smith into that.
Well, then why wouldn't they have just uploaded Trinity's consciousness into someone else? Because in the trailer, you see Trinity just straight up. He runs into her at a coffee shop.
I don't know. man.
But so
See,
Wouldn't that be great if we watched trailers? So
Yeah,
we knew
it would be
was
really
happening?
cool.
And now we're getting to hear about the trailer that we don't watch, so we can let our brains explore it in our own way.
It is
and ask
part of the
questions.
topic, though.
Well, you didn't get to see Keanu in the bathtub with a rubber ducky on top of his head.
This is true.
Oh man, no, I didn't.
It was kind of.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
See, this is the beauty of not watching trailers. See, you already have a preconceived idea of not liking the idea of what this movie's going to go after, when
Sure.
it could be totally different from what that is.
Yeah,
Like-
you're right. But it helps get me excited
And
to
just
see
like
stuff.
Dollar General Morpheus, everybody is going to dislike that character, because I have seen on Reddit like a lot of people saying like, "Why this is basically just Morpheus? Why are you doing this?" Like,
But I think
everybody
isn't
already
it
hates
supposed to
him.
be Morpheus? Or
I
we
don't
don't know
know.
yet.
We have no
said
idea.
They never
Yeah.
said anyone's name.
I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it. I mean, like it's the Matrix, so they can make that stuff happen. I just hope they
Yeah.
do it in a good way. I'm gonna try to give him a shot. You know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to give the movie a shot. I'm excited for it. I just think that the trailer definitely led me to believe that it seems kind of like another nostalgia nerd movie.
Right. Which I think is the only reason. I don't know. To me, like it ended like the Matrix. Like I mean,
Right.
it ended kind of open with what really is going on. At
Right,
the end,
right. Because now,
which is fine.
right, Neo sacrificed himself, but now if it's just going to go another round, is that the same Neo, or is this like a completely rebooted? Did Neo have anything to do with like rewriting the Matrix?
Yeah, he was the catalyst for the reboot, because when he meets the architect, in the wall of screens, every time you see him on that screen was another time that Neo interacted with the architect, because it was showing every one of his reactions to him being what he was inside the Matrix,
So
which was not the one.
right, Agent Smith being the
Agent
one.
Smith was the one.
Was Agent Smith in every single one of those iterations of Neo? Like as Neo was showing up in the Matrix, was Agent Smith always there?
It never really said,
Okay.
but just Agent Smith more accurately fulfills the prophecy that is spoke about in the Matrix movies. Go back to episode. We'll add it in post.
Will we?
Yeah, sure, and you'll hear more about that.
I hope that it doesn't get added in post.
I don't know.
So we can just hear the
I
dude.
have all the power to make that happen or not.
Episode 40.
I'm excited for it, but at the same time, like I'm not going to be standing in line at the movie theater to buy a ticket for it.
Well, nobody does that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I want to watch it here if I'm gonna. Yeah, I want to watch it at home. But
That's not funny. That's sad.
it's true though. Like, I'm
this-
done with the theater. I
Yeah.
don't want to go again.
And like, if we want to see Shang-Chi like so bad, but just the idea of going to the theater now, it's not like repulsive. It's just like that. It's a feeling of, why am I paying $15 to watch this one time whenever I can wait for it to be dropped on, even if it was on Disney Plus, on the premium package, you could pay $30 and watch that as many times as you want to.
yeah.
Well, see,
my dog's here.
By not going, you're missing out on the uber sticky floor, the uncomfortable chair, the lack of leg room, and the popcorn that is so salty it feels like it's cutting your mouth open.
I
Which
do
I
miss
mean, I
that.
do love movie
yeah,
theater
it's
popcorn.
really good.
That is, but the smell of movie theater popcorn.
If I'm watching this new Matrix movie at home, which I'm assuming it'll end up on HBO Max, probably.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Like if somebody starts talking, like you can pause it. You can't do that at the theater.
Yeah.
You can't ask them to halt the movie for you because everyone else is ruining your experience.
You
Like,
can
it's
ask
just nice to
them.
do that here.
It just won't happen.
They just won't do it. Yeah. I don't know what's going to be, because if the whole idea of the Matrix is it keeps happening over and over again.
Right, and so that's what I mean. It's confusing. It's confusing why there's even a fourth one.
Yeah.
At all?
No, that's how I feel about it too. Because
But
if
hopefully
the
it's
whole
good.
if the whole idea was it keeps happening over and over again until Neo did the hard reset.
Right, but apparently they did address that. That happens over and over again.
Yeah.
But it's just, it seemed like this time it was a little different because he made that choice.
Yeah.
I don't know, because he said, "I choose this."
Yeah,
I choose this.
and that's what I was trying to say when I stumbled upon myself. There was such a finality to it. Like there was
Seemingly,
there
yeah.
was such a this is the end, only for it to get rebooted again.
Yeah.
right.
like-
And so the whole process starts over. You have to keep searching for Neo, the one.
Yeah, and it seems just like is it gonna what they're gonna have to do is make it worth documenting. Like that's why what is gonna make this story this time around worth hearing. You know,
Right,
because
right.
it's-
Is it not just the same thing?
Because even if it is featuring, our favorite character from the last one, for the
That's
majority,
not necessarily just going to make it good, though.
how is that going to be involved? Then that's what I'm the most curious about with the new one is how is he going to be involved with this new reset? Because I don't know anything about the trailer besides what you guys have told me. I haven't actually seen any footage or pictures from it either.
And even after you guys explained it, I'm still
It
lost.
definitely
on,
looks like an
what's going on.
exciting movie. Obviously, the special effects look awesome. An updated version of an already kind of revolutionary art style.
Neo with
anyway.
a beard.
Yes,
That's
I mean,
cool.
oh yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I remember at the end of the third Matrix movie, the Oracle and the Architect was sitting there on a park bench, looking at the rainbow sky, and
Talking about how humans are going to be better this time or something.
and they gave them the choice of staying plugged in or unplugging.
Right. Okay. So basically, they're not going to be slaves this time.
Right, they get to choose whether or not they want to remain part of the program. But I don't think that Neo got the memo based on the trailer, because it looks like he's going through his daily life and everything's just uber surreal, like what's happening. I know it's not what it appears to be, and why in the blue am I taking these blue pills?
So yeah, is it almost like an afterlife type thing for the one? Like Neo, he sacrificed himself in hopes to meet Trinity again, and this is like how it is, almost like a underworld type scenario. I don't know.
It may just be a cool action movie with a
I'm hoping it's
character we
deeper than
know.
that, though. I want it to,
Yeah.
I want it to be better than the last two movies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
I hope he named the ducky Nebuchadnezzar.
That's a great name for a ducky.
It's also the name of the ship.
Yeah.
That's true.
Of the what? The ship?
Mhm. Morpheus's ship.
Oh, Morpheus's ship.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought you
Wish
said
they would just
ship.
have a ship named Morpheus, and that's it.
There's
They
a
don't have to-
lot. Technology has changed a lot since the Matrix came out as well.
Oh,
so
the way
they
they
can
make
have
movies, yeah.
so many more philosophies, like as far as technology goes and society. In this one, that I mean, it could be an updated one for a reason, because when you have technology in a movie being the base
Yeah.
function of it,
It just seems like, like I said, they're starting a whole new arc.
Yeah.
So
if
if
it
they
gonna
do
be
it well,
another-
it's gonna be good.
is it going to be another trilogy like everything else?
Probably.
That's annoying.
Probably.
It's really annoying.
Yeah, there are rumors that the end of it sets up a sequel.
How are
course
they
it
going to
does.
have rumors of something like that?
It's
when
coming out in
it's just-
December, so I guess people have already seen it.
This is why
That's true.
I don't trailer.
Well, that doesn't come from a
No,
trailer.
no, no,
A
no.
sequel?
This is from
That's just
I know, but
access media.
That's I hate that even more.
That's what we do on this show.
No, we
are the access media.
We are the media.
We are the prophets of the Grapevine universe, and if it just so happens to happen in the reality that is the listener's world, that is different.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
I don't want to host this show no more. Oh, hell no.
We got to do what I want to do.
See, I'm old school. But
Somebody go.
no.
Yes.
No. Fine, Marcus. Would you rather die
Yes.
from a tapeworm getting into your nasal cavity and then working its way out of your eye socket, or from an infectious spider bite inside of your ear?
I mean, I don't really guess it matters much.
Which one would be? Which one?
Whichever
would you
one's
rather?
funnier.
Which one? Would you rather? Would you rather? Pick one. You got to pick one.
The ear.
The ear
spider
spider.
ear, yeah.
So, which kind of spider is it going to be? Do you think that's going to be causing your demise?
Oh, God. I mean, what are the ones around here? Brown recluse?
You think, brown recluse inside your
Orb
ear?
spider.
The Chaconma spider?
I don't know.
I'm not.
Bless you.
You've not seen?
No.
Oh, I thought you sneezed.
No, they're only in the South.
Anyway, so there was this dog.
Choke on my balls!
I'm about to say I knew there was a
I
punchline.
can't. I can't.
The way you sipped your coffee, waiting for someone to step on that trap.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, shoot.
But anyway, back in the 90s, there was a dog.
I'd rather a creature like a spider take me out than a tapeworm. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more honorable of a death.
Yes. Could you imagine, though, it working its way out of your eye? And then you having what if somebody you pulled at it because you thought you had something coming out, then there it comes.
You did have a weird week.
Yeah, it was kind of odd.
You get to watch that in that brand new cherry flavor show.
Yes, that's where I saw it, and that's where I
Oh,
thought
okay.
that would be a fantastic, awful visual for people to have once listening to this podcast. And now to my real topic, it's going to be A little dog that used to read us stories as a child.
Clitoris, the big red dog.
No, Wishbone. What's the story, Wishbone?
spent his whole life looking for Clitoris, the big red dog.
You know, honestly,
Never did
Probably
find
why
her.
I never heard of Wishbone.
You never heard of Wishbone?
Never heard
you
of
never
Wishbone.
watched Wishbone.
Nope.
What about you, Marcus?
Did you? Really? Yes.
Yeah.
He even wore little costumes,
Yes.
like depending on what story that was.
It was
being told.
it was made for PBS from 1995 to 1997. I thought it was a lot longer running show than it was, but they crammed a lot of episodes in on those seasons. Wishbone was a Jack Russell Terrier, of course, and his owner had this library, and he was a very knowledgeable dog because he had read all of these books within this library, and it introduced like classic storytelling to kids.
I've never seen this before.
Oh, dude! And like the
I'm just
kid,
looking
like,
it up.
The dog would be like he would enact. He would act out these different like these different stories and scenarios and everything, and it was. Okay, I'm going to read off.
He's
a few
shooting a
of them.
bow and arrow.
Yeah, there's all sorts of, and yes,
He doesn't even have thumbs.
It's a puppet.
How does he shoot a bow?
There's a
He
lot-
doesn't even have thumbs.
There's real dog stuff, then there's puppet dog stuff. You've watched Sabrina the Teenage
Movie
Witch,
magic.
but he don't even have thumbs.
so you've got.
Does he
Okay,
at least have a dew claw?
the first episode was named "A Tale in Twain." It was the adventures of Tom Sawyer. So Wishbone was enacting the Tom Sawyer story. And then you've got Oliver Twist, Romeo and Juliet, and of course they've all got dog punned names. So like they've got like let's see.
Bonio.
Like Twisted Tail, Tail, Twisted Tail, Oliver Twist. It's just a lot of different stuff like that. Rip Van Winkle, Don Quixote.
Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah. Ivanhoe, Hunchback of Notre Dame, you know, all that kind of stuff. Or Notre Dame. not the
The
Yes.
Odyssey.
Yes. Homer Sweet Homer is the name of that episode.
that's good.
So yeah, it was just really interesting to watch this dog play out this stuff. And here recently, Steve from Blue's Clues
Oh gosh.
showed his hind end up on the internet and just decided to wreck some people's days in a positive way, though. Like, you didn't expect to be, you know, just looking at this aged actor that was a guy that played a dude on TV, and like it's very minute.
Played a dog dad.
Yes.
And Steve had thumbs.
Look, I think that's canon that Steve had thumbs. If you ask me, good. I'm glad that we got, because otherwise he couldn't have written this handy dandy notebook.
No, he
Right.
couldn't have written anything. It's not a word.
Written, he couldn't have written in his handy dandy notebook. You sack of shit! I hate you so much. Yeah, I knew that I said it wrong.
Feel your anger.
I knew I said it wrong when I said it, but it's not my fault. I'm so damn southern. Okay, but
Does
Wishbone,
that mean you got a smack out mouth? Yeah, Daddy.
Little Big Dog, David and Goliath. You know, it was very fun to see this, and I'm really shocked that neither of you two have
never
seen
seen
the
it.
show. It was kind of like the same idea as like Bob Ross being ingrained into my brain as a young child, the same way Wishbone was, because really, like as a kid, you don't really care about painting. But this guy on TV is doing this, and it's really colorful and really soothing, and it's easy to watch. And you don't really appreciate it for the same way you do as you grow up as an adult. With Wishbone, it doesn't really hold that same appeal to me, though, now, because I did look up a few of the episodes and kind of watch them a little bit, and it's really good storytelling, and it is based for a child audience. I don't really dig a lot of the old like cheesy stuff that I used to as much. Some cheese I do enjoy still from the childhood, but some cheese just it didn't age well.
Like a white cheddar with horseradish.
Yeah,
Delicious.
except it was supposed to be a smoked Gouda, and then now your palate's just all messed up.
Right.
It's pepper jacked up.
I can understand that.
Pepper Jack Russell Terrier. There it is.
Yes,
got
Pepper
it. Nailed it in
Boom.
two,
Pepper
boys.
Jack
Nailed it in
Russell
two,
Terrier.
boys.
He's spicy. He's a hot boy. But yeah,
Yeah.
it got back on air from 2007 to 2009. That was the latest time that it was on television. It was on the PBS Kids Sprout television shows. I'm sorry. You see, I really banked on you guys all having a memory of Wishbone of some sort like me. Like remembering him shooting a bow and arrow with his paw, except, that was taken.
He didn't have no thumbs.
He couldn't have actually done it. I mean, he couldn't have bowled either. He bowled in the show. He couldn't have, he couldn't have like actually used a grappling hook and scaled walls. He couldn't have used a slingshot to destroy a giant with as David versus Goliath. He couldn't have done any of that. All because of what, Tiny?
Didn't have no thumbs.
That's exactly it. And he was also a dog.
Well, you guys may have not seen this, but other dog-based like movies and shows, because there are plenty of those. I mean, there's like 30 Air Bud movies, and it's this mixture of like puppetry and an actual dog. And I cannot imagine training a dog to be an actor.
Oh my gosh.
How do you do that?
I have no idea.
I don't know how to train
There's people that do it.
How do you even keep your dog from running outside whenever you open the door?
You can't. It's impossible.
Like,
it's been known that it's impossible.
Well, like Homeward Bound. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
that was, from what I remember, all done with live action dogs.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
That's insane, because you're like, all right, dog, you're going to sit here for 5 seconds. You're going to look to the left. You're going to move your mouth like you're saying words, but you're not really going to say words. We're going to put them in there for you. And then they do it. And then there's this cat, which cats are demons. We all know this.
Sassy.
Sassy.
Sure.
Shadow, Chance, and Sassy.
Yeah.
You're right.
Ooh.
Shadow was the best.
Nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, though, I did like Chance because
Chance was
he
hilarious.
was a
Michael
bully.
J. Fox.
He
You're
was
correct.
a bully dog, and he was cute.
And who did Sassy?
Sally Field.
Yep.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Man.
boys. Gosh, we're
Pating.
on it.
Milo and Otis had come out, but before that, I think Milo and Otis is
It
older
was.
than Homeward Bound.
God,
but that was another
Yeah.
live action
It was just
dog movie.
Yeah, and it was basically just, and it didn't have any kind of like graphics to it or anything. It was just footage of a puppy and a cat and different stuff puppies and cats would do. And they're in different scenarios to where they've got them in like, here's a puppy in a shack. Oh, this is what a puppy in a shack would be doing. Like, it's actually really cool if you watch it now because it's neat
Hold
the way
on,
it was
like
filmed.
Shaq the Diesel O'Neal.
No,
Yes.
no, not a puppy in shack. That would be just awful.
That's a different movie.
That would be awful.
He can't use hamsters. He's too big.
What if that was the size poops that man took? If you had to compare,
Just like shit a cold retriever.
like just a little.
Ooh, can you imagine how big his toilets would have to be?
No.
Just
We
dig
call
a pit.
those shackadoodles.
Shackadoodies. The Shackadoodie Doos. Yep, Milo and Otis had a theme song to it that gonna take a walk outside today, gonna see what we can find today, gonna take a walk outside today, gonna see what we can find today. That is so simple, and it stayed in my head for the rest of my life.
That was all the words?
No, I know the rest of the words. No,
Yeah.
the rest of the words, but there's no need for me.
No,
to sing
no. That part can stay with me.
I'll sing it to you later when you're trying to go to sleep.
Thank you. I
welcome.
need that.
Scruff McGruff. That was another doggo from our childhood.
Oh yeah, the crime dog.
Yeah, the crime dog. Took a bite out of crime, and there was a helicopter.
Was he real?
We let him down.
We did.
We did. There's so much crime. I'm doing so much crime right now.
We're just criminals.
Was that not a cartoon? Was that a reel?
I think that there was I don't know, but I feel like there was like a comic strip or something, because I remember going to the local university that I now work at and going to the Hooper Eblin Center. And there was a helicopter outside. And there was a man, I assume, maybe a woman, or they, I don't know.
Could have been anyone.
Dressed as Scruff McGruff the crime dog. And there's a picture of me in said helicopter next to Scruff McGruff the crime dog.
Is this real?
Somewhere out there in the world.
Somebody find it.
Yeah. Yeah, it exists. And there was like a comic strip that I'm seen holding in the picture. And I'm not making any of this up.
Wait, was the helicopter pulling away?
It was seated firmly on the ground.
Oh, so you weren't like some folks bomb me?
No, they're like police officers use this to catch druggists, And I'm like, cool. I just want to pet Scruff.
Druggist, like a celloist, except somebody that instead of someone that can stroke the strings, they can stroke your fancy. What kind of drug you want?
Right.
What you got?
I was hoping I could find this on the internet, but I don't think I can.
I mean, I was like, my dad was alive, so we're talking. I was 6 or 7.
That means we have to go to the local library
like
and get
early
into the
90s.
newspaper articles.
Yeah.
But wait,
On
didn't you used to live in Ohio?
No.
Okay, that's somebody else then.
Old Yeller.
My father was from Ohio.
Oh, and you visited Ohio to see his family.
Yes.
Okay, that's
my
what happened.
grandmother.
Where the red fern grows.
Oh, that's another dog from our childhood.
Old
She
Yeller.
had green ferns on her house.
Old Yeller. React to that one, please.
Old Yeller? There's nothing to react to. He had to
That's sad.
Best doggone dog in the West.
Here, Yeller, come back, Yeller.
He shot that dog in the face.
Because the dog had the rabes, and they were in the Old West. There was
There's
no cure.
drugs to treat rabies.
Not in the Old West.
There was no humane back then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I understand, but it's still
That was
sad.
humane.
Hopefully, the gunshot put the dog down. We never got to see the sequel to Old Yeller and whether or not we figured out whether or not the dog has rabies and a gunshot wound.
Right?
We never saw a body.
Shiloh.
We never saw a body.
We never
Truth.
saw a body. There was no red fern growing out of Old Yeller's grave. Was
Old
long-
Yeller. Resurrections.
He can come back as a cyborg.
And then you just lead in with like an echoey, like a real echoey, ethereal, like, it's all right, Ma. Yeller's my dog.
Best doggone dog that was dead.
But really, though, that would absolutely suck to be that kid to go out and shoot his dog and it not kill him.
Terrible.
Oh, no.
I don't like anything about that. Like, none of it.
No, it's awful,
Like,
but
none of it.
I'd rather go with zombie dog. Zombie dog is okay, yes?
Yeah, I'm okay with that because
Yeah.
then it's not a little boy
But then-
shooting his best buddy in the face.
But then it disproves the reality that all dogs go to heaven. Some dogs are undead.
that was another
And
one
that would
from
just
our
create a
childhood.
whole black hole of chaos in the universe.
Why were there so many dog things when we were
His
kids?
soul went to heaven, but his body
Reanimated
reanimated
with some sort of zombie
some
spirit.
kind of like hoodoo.
That's just going to show you that we are all under the blanket of Stephen King's universe.
That's right.
Didn't we
We're
make
all just
somebody else a
cosmic
zombie
turtle
recently too?
Do what?
Or did we make Donald Duck a wraith? I forgot.
Well, that was a thing, too.
Anyway,
I
sorry.
don't know. Can't you do a good Donald Duck impression?
No, I can't.
Try it real quick.
It's gotten better.
Yeah. So my topic is something that we've mentioned several times, and it's actually come up many times in conversation, but many people do not actually understand it, and it has nothing to do with the movie Richard Jewell. We're going to talk about alignment and kind of what that means because nobody really knows what that means.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you an alignment and kind of give you some characteristics and give you an example and see if you can come up with your own example.
Okay.
That sounds fun, don't it?
Alignment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
D&D
chaotic
alignment.
good.
Like,
Oh,
yeah, we're going to start off with lawful good.
how did we get from movies to this, though? You said I'm
Because
confused.
characters have an alignment.
Okay. Oh, I got it. I got it.
You're
So-
here.
I'm with you.
Lawful good characters, they always keep their word. They never betray their allies. They do everything in their power to protect innocent people. They're fighting for their version of what is right, and they're devoting their life to a particular cause. An example will be Superman or Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
I mean, how am I supposed to come up with another one when you took the top two?
Because there's more.
Aragorn. Aragorn.
Ever heard of him?
I mean, do I have to wear a mask in here? I mean, has it really gone into the air?
I don't know who that is, so I don't know. what to
Aragorn
tell you.
from The Lord of the Rings.
Is Luke
yeah, yeah,
Star Wars
No,
lawful good?
I don't think. No, I think.
No, Luke would be more your chaotic good. And we'll,
Okay.
we'll get a little deeper into that when we get there.
Sure. What about Ray Star Wars? Lawful.
She's
Shazam.
neutral good.
Shazam would be
say.
lawful
Is neutral good a thing?
Neutral good is a thing.
Neutral good.
Everything like there's good, evil, and neutral. There's a lawful, a chaotic, and a neutral.
Okay.
So, moving on past lawful good, we have a neutral good. They join in a fight against a corrupt leader after learning of his corruption. They oftentimes change their allegiances and feelings toward a group as they learn more about them. A neutral good character might do anything they can to stop a murderer, but not tell the city watch about the band of poachers in the king's woods. Stealing from bandits or pirates, but refusing to take anything from an honest merchant. Might be found living a relatively normal life since they don't feel the same call to action as either of the extremes of the good row. A couple examples would be Batman or Jon Snow.
Damn it! I was gonna say every Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that seems like that should be the second creed of the House Stark.
I wouldn't say every Stark.
I don't know. They're pretty lawful, though. Starks are pretty lawful.
What about Tony Stark, huh? Is that one of them?
He's,
Is he a Stark?
Neutral good? I think he's neutral good.
I think he'd be more
chaotic
chaotic.
good.
he is a
Well,
little
who
bit
is
more.
neutral
He's a little
good?
bit more conceited. For
I feel
sure.
like it is very vague still, though. Like the difference between like a lawful good and a neutral
Okay.
good.
Think lawful as you have a guiding principle, and chaotic as you don't have that guiding principle, but in a general sense, you're this particular way.
Right.
Chaotic good could shoot somebody in the face in order for the betterment of everyone, right?
Yes.
That's chaotic good. But
Yes.
lawful good would want them arrested, not shot in the face.
Got
Right,
it.
even though they
Yeah.
may deserve to be shot
Exactly.
in the face.
They wouldn't do that because their code says they cannot
Right.
kill.
And neutral good would have had a great self-defense alibi.
So like lawful good would be like a
Pretty much.
so lawful would be like a cop show where the cop's the protagonist and he's like catching the murderer.
By the book.
Yeah, exactly.
Lawful good. Yeah, he's gotta go
good-
by the book.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Chaotic good would be like knocking out a guard to help an innocent person escape prison, protesting on behalf of others in the face of injustice, stealing from a wealthy and powerful but otherwise innocent noble, living outside normal society, staying away from accepting any authority or responsibility themselves. Some examples would be Wolverine and Daenerys Targaryen early in the series, like when she's freeing all the slaves.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I also thought of maybe Han
I could see
Solo.
I can see
yeah,
that.
for sure.
that. Yeah, I could
Because
say.
he's not an evil character.
Well,
by
and
any
when
means.
you said to fight on people's behalf, I thought of Leia too. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would be.
She's not as chaotic though.
No,
She's more
not
lawful.
quite.
lawful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Han shot first.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
He did.
So he's definitely
Yeah,
definitely
more chaotic.
Yeah, for sure.
So very roguish, maybe chaotic, neutral,
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say chaotic neutral, but I would lean more
or
towards
chaotic,
good.
That's what I meant. That's
Yeah.
what I meant to say.
Yeah. Lawful neutral behaviors, they allow themselves or loved ones to be taken into custody if they believe they did something wrong, ignoring the suffering of lawbreakers, feeling as if the actions of the chaotic good and chaotic evil are as dangerous as each other, trying to solve problems in ways other than fighting, and wanting all the information about a situation before making a decision. Some examples would be Sansa Stark and James Bond.
Rorschach.
James Bond.
Yeah, definitely Rorschach.
I
for
wish
sure.
I cared more about James Bond.
Yeah, that never really spy stuff never got me either.
No, and that's odd because spy stuff is really cool. But I
Say
just
if you get
don't-
the right spy stuff, I think it would be cool. But
maybe Man from U.N.C.L.E. Maybe I'd be more into
I've
that.
not seen any of the new Bonds though, so maybe I should check out the Daniel Craig. I did like Goldeneye. back
Don't
in the
watch
day.
Skyfall.
Skyfall bad?
Stupid.
Okay.
There's nothing to it.
Yeah, I'm not that interested.
Not even
Yeah,
good
me
action.
either. I just don't care. I don't know why. Sorry.
So, true neutral. They make a range of choices depending on the situation and their mood, often leaning more on relationships with others to guide their decisions rather than their own perception of the situation. Running from a situation once it gets too dangerous, trying to stay out of conflict if possible, and seeing an argument from both sides. Some examples would be Shrek. Okay, I don't think Shrek is a good example.
Hold on. Hold on. The fact that your face Hey, no, the fact that your face made an entire grimacy just like clench whenever you said his name made that so much better. Shrek?
Well, I mean, I'm reading from an article, and I'm like, no.
But maybe, I mean, because he just doesn't want to be involved at all.
Here's
Someone else figure it out. Just leave me alone.
Well,
Get out
okay,
of my
maybe.
swamp.
Here's a better example, I think. Tyrion Lannister.
As true neutral?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, he doesn't really care about what's happening. He really doesn't.
He does towards the end.
Towards the end, yes. Well, I mean, I've not seen the show. I've just read the books.
Yeah, at the very
So
end,
I don't know.
He got to tell everybody what to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. But I'm not the expert.
Or the Greybeards
Right.
from Skyrim.
God, I don't remember them.
The
The ones at the
Vusrodas.
throat of the world?
Yeah, the ones
Yeah.
at the throat of the world.
Yeah.
I'd hate
Who-
to see what that
Who wrote that? You mentioned this is an article. Where is it from?
Gamersdecide.com.
Okay.
And I'm massively skimming in case anybody wonders. Chaotic neutral behaviors, unpredictable choices, looking after themselves first, people around them second, moving from place to place, rebelling against anything or anyone that restrains them, hurting other people if it means advancing their own interests, such as Captain Jack Sparrow
Walter
or
White.
Deadpool. Walter White is, that'd be a good example.
Okay. Yeah, Deadpool's good. Almost like an anti-hero.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Like that would fit chaotic neutral.
Black Adam as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though he's seen as a villain.
Yeah.
Like as evil,
He's-
he's
no.
his actual intentions.
No, because he's not doing it for the sake of just doing it. He's doing it because he feels like it is purposing that greater good, which is
Right.
in his head the greater good.
Right.
Not so happens to be the rest of us.
Right.
Well, chaotic neutral is more they follow their own fancies.
Yeah.
They're not really trying to be good, not trying to be bad. They're like, this just serves me and it makes me feel good.
I've always
so
heard-
I'm going to do this.
I've always
See, I
heard
feel
it.
like that's Tyrion. I feel like that's more Tyrion.
Yeah, I've always heard it described as like the code of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's what you're following.
That's
You're,
interesting.
you're following the code of you. Like what do you feel?
Yeah.
And that's
Though, I mean, that could also fall under lawful alignments. Like lawful evil. Lawful evil, they will not break their word, so they'll be very careful in how they word their promises, if they give promises at all. Generally against those that they perceive as weak, won't break the law or their code, even if it means letting an adversary get away. Very particular about the law, finding loopholes to exploit. Value loyalty and honor even in enemies. Some examples are Dr. Doom, Cersei Lannister, Darth Vader.
I would add, because I kind of talked about the Man in the High Castle not too long ago, that John Smith guy, I think that's him.
Yeah.
I think
a
lawful
really cool
evil has probably been the most confusing for me anytime I've ever looked at alignments. Like, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, but then again, when I go to like neutral evil, which I mean, you'll explain in a second,
Yeah.
the difference between the two, but
Yeah, I mean, lawful evil is one of my favorite alignments to actually play in D&D. Like, I don't make my players declare an alignment, but I want you to know what your alignment is. So when I make a character, I go, okay, I want him to be lawful evil or chaotic neutral or whatever. I may not necessarily tell everyone what that character is, but it gives me a guideline of how to play that particular character.
makes it easy to roleplay.
Exactly. Like my character, Durgash. He is a lawful evil. He's a cleric, and he is death domain, which that probably makes very little sense to anybody. But the super main point is his only goal in life is to cause as much pain as possible to himself and to other people. That's the code he goes by. So if I can do this and cause you physical agony, I'm going to do it this way as opposed to this way, just to further my own ends.
Gotcha. So it's not chaotic because it's not random.
Right. It's not random. It's very planned out.
And it's not neutral because it's by the book, a book that
Right.
that
He has
they
this
claim,
code that
yeah.
he goes by.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Maybe I just needed you to explain it to me.
Like the leader of a death cult
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
pretty
wants to
much.
follow all the tenets of the death cult.
Pretty much is exactly what he is. So neutral evil, they're all about their own goals and interests and will partner with anyone to advance those. They will almost always choose a selfish action and are fine with betraying any allies. might follow the law if they can use it to their own gains. Can casually do well in groups, but they prefer to be their own bosses. They will mostly work in groups until it stops benefiting them. They're fine with lying, stealing, torturing, and killing to achieve their goals.
Lex Luthor.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
I had to get it out before
Yeah.
Scar.
That's great.
Petire Baelish. Peter Pettigrew, whoever that is from Harry Potter.
Lex Luthor.
Lex, yeah, definitely Lex Luthor. That's
Like the entire
coming up in my
time,
head.
everything he was saying, I'm like, Lex did that.
yep.
Yeah,
Lex
absolutely.
did that. Oh, Lex did that.
So you boys are getting it. You're getting it.
We're
I understand.
Now, chaotic evil. Many people want to play this, and they just become murder hobos, and they don't understand what it is. They're like, well, I'm playing chaotic evil, so obviously I'm going to shoot this guy in the face because, fuck it. That's just what I'm going to do. That's not it at all. Chaotic evil, they do not play well with others. That can also go for people role playing as chaotic evil. Just had to throw that in there. So they don't play well with others. These characters will only accept absolute control. Not usually as calculating as the other two evil alignments. They work more on impulse than with a plan. They rarely have true allies, more often having underlings that are loyal to them out of fear. Sometimes they have a goal such as ultimate power, but their overarching goal is spreading chaos. These characters will disrespect any authority that is not their own, possessing the same free spirit that the rest of the chaotic column has. The Joker is an example.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, he's the classic example of chaotic evil.
He was
Impulsive.
He was a perfect example of
Kind of Joffrey, too, maybe a little bit. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely, Joffrey.
But that's the thing. Like whenever I'm seeing chaotic evil put into most things, it makes you just absolutely despise their being. Like they're so just off the mark, and that it's infuriating. Just like everything that Joffrey would do, like it would make you want to strangle the boy. Like
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
like oh great, another
See,
king has fallen
like-
because I pushed him out of this window.
I feel like Joffrey was more self-important. Like he was more narcissistic. Ramsay just liked suffering. He enjoyed hurting things.
Truth.
Well, that's when it's weird because most people unanimously dislike those characters and they fall under that alignment, but so does the Joker. And yet people are obsessed with his character and love his character because we live in a society or whatever. And like it's a weird thing that if the character is done in a certain way under the same alignment, they can be likable for those things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's one character that I've been trying to nail down what his alignment is, and I'm kind of bouncing between a couple. So I'm not going to tell you what I think. I'm going to let you tell me what you think. Riddick. What would you nail down Riddick as?
Gosh, it's been so long since I've seen
Yeah,
this.
I don't know, man.
Oh man,
He fits more in a Venn diagram. Does that make sense?
Give me like a little synopsis just to refresh my memory of like what his story is.
Okay, so he goes to prison. He constantly breaks out. It just hit him.
Oh no, he's just been disappointed in me.
He had, the shine job done on his eyes so he can see in the dark. Hates everybody, but will still help. Like in Pitch Black, he leads them to the ship to get off the planet.
But what does he want?
Who knows?
Okay, so he has to be chaotic
he
then,
took
huh?
care of Jack, though, for no particular reason.
he's lawful evil.
I would say chaotic neutral.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with.
See, I bounce between chaotic neutral and lawful evil because, like, he does not value life at all, even a little. But what is he beholden to?
What he
Because-
feels is his code.
Well, what's his code?
Literally his code changes from Riddick iteration to Riddick iteration. Like it was for a little bit just like being out for his own, like doing his own thing, trying to survive. And then it goes into like he's fought like the necromancing army, and now he is like the leader of that. And you keep what you kill, like
my gosh.
Well, that still doesn't
watch
change
this
his
now.
alignment. It's just him growing as a person. See, I tend to think he's more lawful evil than chaotic neutral. because his main thing is just survival. He's out there to survive by any means necessary.
What makes it evil, though?
Yeah.
And honestly,
Because he's not necessarily he's killing people. He's not doing good things, not doing the right things. He's doing bad things. Like he's killing a lot of people.
I think having
he's escaping
dual-
from a lot of prisons.
I think dual alignment would be a pretty good option to have, because it would be pretty easy, depending on situation to situation, how you would have to react to stuff for it to be either the chaotic neutral or the lawful evil.
Well, surely any character is going to be kind
Well,
of shades
absolutely.
of two different ones.
Well, that's why
two or three different ones.
That's
maybe.
why I don't make my players declare an alignment, because
It's kind of
some people
a
will
loose
get
guideline.
too stuck into, well, I'm lawful good. I obviously can't do this.
Yeah.
Well, your character is a person, and people do make mistakes. So everybody functions a bit in the gray, but as a general sense, you tend to lean more one way than another.
Sure.
Well, there's
And I think
character development too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like you start
And-
at one, you could go
Yes,
backward. You could
you
go
absolutely
too
can.
evil in the end, or you can go.
Yeah, surely there's. I mean, there's
good.
probably
Yeah.
rules on like when a character actually gets to achieve a change of alignment.
Well,
The
the
Joker
change
movie.
of alignment happens as you actually do things, because it's kind of one of those situations like, okay, say I'm the DM and you're my player, and you're wanting to run lawful good. Okay, let's just say that's what it is. So you're
Boring.
following all the laws, you're doing all the right things, but you find out about Robin Hood over here in the forest, robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. And you're like, well, he's breaking the law, yes, but he's still helping all these people in need. So I'm just not going to say anything. So you do enough things like that.
I shoot him in the face.
Oh man, no.
Wait,
Oh,
is it
no.
the fox one? Is it the animal?
No.
Okay, I shoot him in the face.
Okay, then yes.
You got to romance the fox one.
That's true.
Murder hobo.
Well, regardless, so you're not necessarily following laws or this code that you have established. And after doing this so many times as a DM, I'm gonna be like, hey, I know that you think you're lawful good, but really you're leaning more towards chaotic good. So maybe expand your mind a little bit and lean into that, because I think that your character is becoming more interesting and being a better, individual than what you thought initially.
Just like the Joker movie with Walking Phoenix, he went from lawful good to chaotic evil. Mm-hmm. In the course of that movie, based on the events that were happening both around and to him in that movie, and that I think that's why it was such a like trip on a person's brain to watch that movie, because you actually saw the character develop from the most stereotypical, like following the rules, being the guy that you're supposed to be, like to the book, by the book, I'm trying to like
Right.
Yep.
it just
Yeah.
Like Breaking Bad. He broke bad.
he braked and
Break bad.
He braked and it was bad.
That's where some
Not
really successful stories are that way, to
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
they start on one entire end of that chart and go all the way to the other one, and you can see as their actions happen, like this either fall or rise, depending what the scope you're looking at it. Mm-hmm. But
Absolutely.
yeah, the chart's really cool, but I'm with you on. There's no reason to pick it and stick to it in a game
Right.
of
It should all be
D&D,
about
because
what's happening
what's
now.
exactly. Yeah,
Not what
I
you
mean,
picked before the
Yeah.
game started.
Yeah,
Right.
but like I said, for me, it gives me a guideline of this is kind of how I want my character to be.
Yeah.
Like my current character, Shep. I know he's chaotic good, but I don't. It's kind of like in the back of my mind, like, okay, I want to generally do good things, so I'm not going to go like shoot homeboy in the face for no reason. But I'm not so stuck to that I can't function slightly in another alignment.
right.
Sometimes you try to do things in D&D and it just ends up going bad. I mean, just like, you try to fight a small child when you're an 8-foot tall orc, and, and that small child ends up just beating you, and it's just great.
How many times?
Like twice, I believe.
Do we have to bring this up?
It just
It came down to bad rolls, man.
Yeah.
Just bad rolls, okay?
I mean, a rogue, which was what, an elf?
Yes,
Kicked in a door
Yes.
that a half-orc fighter could not.
He broke his shoulder on it.
Yeah.
Well, see, and something I've recently discovered, these characters that we know of in these fantastical situations, they would have really benefited by using this thing that I've discovered.
Oh.
Are you curious, Marcus?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What
As
have you
to what I
discovered?
found? I have found something that I've deemed the cosmic vineyard. Yes. It's a cosmic vineyard that I can receive messages from beyond the grapevine.
Well, like in a bottle?
No, I'm not telling you where.
Did you use a metal detector?
No,
Was you magnet fishing?
maybe. I love magnets.
No further questions, Your Honor.
But this new segment is called the Cosmic Vineyard Wine because I can hear these creatures, these people, these characters complaining within this vineyard that they have found in their universe. And it hops across multiple universes. And I heard one from someone named Orlomog, the overworked ogre. Would you like to hear his message? There's a long delay, so when he asks this, when we respond, he won't hear it for a little while, but he will hear our response. So be careful what you say.
So he's listening.
He's listening. He's just going to hear
God.
it later.
So he'll hear it Monday morning at about 8 a.m.?
That's exactly when he's going to hear it. Just a couple day lag on it. I just need you guys to hear this because I thought it was odd whenever I heard it. But how do I do an ogre voice? I've been thinking about this. I don't know how to do one. Take one. Oh, cosmic great! Nope, that's not an ogre. That's not even.
That was like my Donald Duck thing.
Shoot! I've never seen it.
Try with about
ogre?
30% more underbite.
30%. Oh, cosmic grapevine. Orlomog have big problem. All he do is work. All day, all night work. Kill these people. Steal these things. Eat these livestock. Nobody want me eat. Orlomog need break. He need hobby. All fathers before have only work and say all work, no play mean good job. But Orlomog tired. Help Orlomog, or he find and kill all your things.
I feel like we actually heard him too.
Orlomog, dude,
Like,
come over. Yeah, right. I can't tell you about my remedies for overworkedness.
but there could be those same remedies where Orlomog is from.
Yeah, they got some alien weed up there in Orlomogs.
I was thinking more butt stuff.
I didn't think we'd fix his problem immediately with the first thing, but alien weed is a pretty good idea.
I mean, I don't know what realm he comes from.
I don't either. That's the thing. This vineyard spans across multiple universes, and the grapevine leads to us.
What do y'all smoke? That's what I would ask him. Some people smoke tobacco to relax.
That's true.
Truth.
They can smoke all kinds of things.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be hallucinogenic.
I mean, I knew a guy that smoked catnip.
Wait, what?
We've
Really?
all been desperate.
Yeah. Well, no, like he didn't like weed, but he liked smoking catnip.
That's odd.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was
I've known
thinking
some
he
weird
should.
people, man.
I was thinking he should find some kind of hobby. Because it sounds like he's in the family business, right? I mean, he says
Yeah.
all fathers before him have done this. So all he does is, pillage and steal and eat and kill and all this kind of stuff. He just sounds tired. So
Maybe he should take up some kind of smithing, or crafting. Maybe he could make armor if he wanted to be an armorer, so he could provide future generations with a task that would be able to provide other people with other orcs.
See,
other orcs,
other ogre. He's an ogre.
Other ogres with means of pillaging and killing more people. So if he was to take up a smithing trade or something along those lines, he would be able to pass that down, furthering, instead of it being work to do what he has to do, it could be more fun to help other people pillage and kill.
Well, he said he wanted a hobby, not
Or
a new
ogres.
trade. So I mean,
True,
I'm
but
leaning
hobbies
more
can
towards.
turn into that.
I mean, they can, but I'm leaning more towards like crafting is a great idea. So I'm thinking like, he's got sharp knives and probably some swords and axes, so he could take up wood carving because he's already got all the tools he needs.
He could make drums.
Yeah,
make
he
some
can,
more
he can
drums.
carve some pipes for his smoking pleasures, Marcus.
Sure.
Or he can, craft little figurines and sell them.
Maybe he just needs a
make a little
beer.
tidy profit.
Do they have any ale in this
I'm
universe?
sure they have ale. I'm sure he indulges in many a ale
Yeah, you're right.
by going
That's
to
not
all
gonna
these
help
different
any
places.
I
now.
wouldn't recommend becoming an alcoholic or a
I'm
drug
not,
user.
I'm
to
not
anybody.
recommending
It's
any
just-
of that. I'm just saying
It's
he
just
needs
one
to
of those
relax.
things I don't know if I'd recommend being.
He
a-
needs to relax.
He's got to take the edge off
Yes.
somehow.
Masturbation.
Hey.
Well,
That could be a hobby, but that could also become an addiction.
right, and we don't want
Yeah.
him to get addicted to anything.
Well, I mean-
and marijuana is a non-habit forming drug.
It is.
Well, we don't know about the alien version.
Oh,
Right.
What if it's actually got nicotine in it?
Oh no!
First of all, let me revoke all of my suggestions and he needs to take care of his mental health first.
oh yeah, when you're this overworked, you're going to be stressed out.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're this ogre worked.
Oh.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. I do like the idea of him making his own armor, though.
Yeah.
because it can be working with his hands. It's art, right? Because
Yeah.
he can make his own designs on it if he wants to, and it makes his job easier in the future because he can just
Exactly.
plow through things as
So-
opposed to having to fight people off.
So if he took a little bit of time for himself and taught himself a new hobby at
Right.
first, it could actually make the ease of his workday better.
yeah.
Because his workday killing and eating and pillaging is difficult.
It's like he has nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, I think
Except more work. He needs to have his time set aside where he has him time.
Now he can make these special weapons or special armors in his spare time and then go off and use them in work time and look forward to working with them.
Or he can also visit betterhelp.com, not a sponsor, and talk with online counselors that they help you with your own mental states, and
I don't trust them with
know-
the line that I have to this vineyard though.
well, then
I
I,
don't know.
guess he's
Not
SOL.
yet.
I mean, like I said, they're not a sponsor.
So,
Maybe
right-
he could take some of the vines and make a hammock.
And just
That's
chill for a bit.
yeah. Yeah.
Just set up next to the water.
Just make a hammock.
and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And use it.
ooh. So he can take the vine,
Yes.
tie a tin can to one side,
Okay.
then a tin can to the other side.
Okay.
And we put the one side in here in the grape sack, and he can talk to us. That can be his hobby, speaking through the universe.
We'll be his therapists.
I don't know how that will help him. It was just an idea that come in my brain.
I would love it if we could just hang it over there next to where Marcus's chair is, just so he can just stretch down the can and whisper sweet nothings into the ogre's ear. You should become an alcoholic. When's the last time you tried hard drugs?
It fixes everything.
So befriending a wizard would probably help him out then, because I don't think he's going to have the means to gain access to our realm. I mean, he can send these messages off. He doesn't know who's going to receive them. He's just gotten word of the cosmic grapevine.
So we need to tell him to find a wizard?
of the vineyard.
We should give him
Yeah.
options. We should give him options, and he can choose from them. Just so multiple choice. I think multiple choice is always the best because if you have the options, that means you have the power. So let's give him the power.
I mean, I did meet a wizard one time.
And clearly he gave you his robe.
Well, she only had one sleeve.
I hate you. I knew it was going there. Okay, my option for ogre
Orlomog.
Orlomog, I'm sorry, is to pick up a trade, make it a hobby, further that hobby into usefulness at your job, so you can look forward to your job every day.
And his days will end sooner because with this idea of the hammock and his smoky on the side, alien weed, as Marcus likes to call it, because then he's going to get more creative to where he can carve Tiny in his wooden sculptures, and he can make these little treasures, his own treasures. Maybe he won't want to pillage as much if he makes his own treasures instead of going out and taking from others. What those are?
And he can put a wheel of cheese in his hammock.
That's true.
That's beautiful.
That's true because
Yes.
if you ever were in a place like Skyrim, which
Yeah.
Orlomog might not know that, but Skyrim is a place that we've all visited once before.
It's another realm.
Everybody's got wheels of cheese.
Absolutely. They're in the most random of places.
like you just raided a dragon's hoard that he had in an ancient castle, and there was an ancient dragon wizard right next to it, and by God, they had a wheel of cheese, and it didn't have mold on it.
It's like the favorite snack of Skyrim.
Perfect.
And tiny.
Just a wheel of cheese.
Yeah.
I honestly think we have helped made Orlomog's day.
I hope
I
so.
think
you'll
still
be
find
able
that
to-
wizard though. We don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
We should also give him that urge.
The one-sleeved wizard.
I don't know
Everybody
about
needs
that.
everybody
I don't
needs a
know it.
one-sleeved wizard in their life. Actually,
Why don't I get it? Why
I'll
do I?
explain it to you later.
Oh no!
yeah, Borat said it. He looks like sleeve of wizard.
Or maybe it's just an amputee wizard. He only needs one sleeve.
Could be that too.
Yeah. Just as useful, probably.
Well, Orlomog, there you go. And all of our listeners, there you go too. Thank you for tuning in to Nerd It Through the Grapevine this week. Keep listening to us on Spotify and iTunes. And if you go over to iTunes, you'll notice there are 5 stars. And Orlomog would really like for you to get those 5 stars, because if not, that's more work for him, because then he's got to find out what an iTunes is, and he's got to figure out how to make another star, and that's just going to give the guy more work, and that's the opposite of what he's asking of us. So if you could do that, write a description in there of how much you enjoy us and what we're about, and we would be so happy.
And it would be great as well if you would go ahead and while you're getting on your social medias to look up Nerd It Through the Grapevine at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Nerd Grapevine. While you're on Facebook or Instagram, look up Asylum Radio Network, because that's where we're going to be featured here pretty soon. We're going to be starting that very soon, actually. And that's going to be another way for you guys to be able to listen to us. So that'd be really neat. It's going to be a fun time.
It's exciting.
But don't get too hyper involved in it and cause anybody any kind of
OnlyFans. We're starting an OnlyFans. Catch us on there. Well, we've already got some pictures uploaded at Nerd Grapevine. They are 18 plus. They are explicit. We're riding this train all the way to the station. Also, check us out on Discord. Join the Backyard Bonanza. We've got memes and fun times. Come talk to us. Live, uncut, uncensored. You don't have to hear no beeps and stuff. So check us out. It's pretty awesome.
And we have a Patreon as well.
I always forget about Patreon.
Oh, it's okay. It's Best Friends period, Tiny Ink period on Patreon. If you go there, you can be able to toss us a few bucks. If you've got more than $8 in your pocket, well, you got Tiny Beat. And you can shove some of those our way, and I'll send you a holographic sticker that I designed of our album art for the podcast.
maybe be able to unlock future content that we'll release on Patreon for for the paying buddies on there.
So it's come to that time, Austin, when life gives you grapes.
You don't let a Jack Russell Terrier have them, because what he's going to do is he's going to take his thumbs that he actually has, because he can shoot a bow and arrow, and he's going to grip them too hard in his, and he's going to squish your grapes, because that if the dog was to put the grapes in the mouth, the dog wouldn't actually squish the grape because it's poisonous to him. And you didn't know that grapes are poisonous to dogs, and now you're scared. You're afraid because we are the grapes, and now we're... Oh, no, I'm not going to poison a dog, especially Wishbone.
Don't have any thumbs!
He doesn't have any
And then you
thumbs.
shoot him in the face.
And then you shoot him in the face with an axe.
Old Yeller.
I don't like it here anymore.
Old Yeller's my dog, Mom. I'll shoot him.
Old Yeller, too.
Now he's got rabies and 3 legs.
He's back.
You don't have any thumbs!